everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, we are here to continue our AFL 2022 3-game match reviews. So in this video I'm going to be reviewing the middle 3 games of round 23 of the 2022 AFL season. And oh man, I'll tell you, 3 more massive games. These games didn't really have a lot come context of finals about where teams would be placed, but they were still good regardless of that. Anyway, the main team in here that we were going to see was Richmond, what they did, whether they were going to finish 7th or 8th, which we'll be going over that later on in this video. But anyway, the games we're going to be reviewing are Geelong versus West Coast, Essendon versus Richmond, and Port Adelaide versus Adelaide. So let's go ahead, hop right into things with Geelong and West Coast. Alright, so the first game we're going to be reviewing are Geelong versus West Coast down at Kardinia Park, where Geelong 19-17, 131, smashed West Coast 7-4, 46. West Coast, they hung around for a little bit of a fight in this one, but in the end, of course, they were never going to win this game. They hung around in the first quarter, 6-3 in a high-scoring first quarter, but then in the second quarter, it was over at half-time, as most of us did expect. In the third quarter and the final quarter, the Cats did just manage to seal the deal. It was a good, impressive run of things. They ended up kicking 19 goals, which is really good. And yeah, it was just that second quarter where things really started to get out of hand. West Coast were in the game for longer than I'd expected, because still halfway through the second quarter, they were still in the game. But from there on, the Cats just built up that staircase, which is really important. Of course, Dangerfield with his 300th game. 32 disposal for Shannon Hearn. 4 goals for Hawkins and Stengel, 118 fantasy for Hearn, 10 tackles for Jai Cully. And then to the AFL fantasy, 118 for Hearn, 108 for Duggan, 107 for Hawkins, 106 for Williams, 100 for Blitzarves. Goals behinds, 4 for Hawkins, 4 for Stengel, 3 for Cripps, 2 for Guthrie, Selwood, Rowan, and Darling, and Isaac Smith, 1 goal for, didn't have a great day in front of the sticks. 32 disposals for Hearn, 28 for Selwood and Parfitt, as well as Jones and Kelly. Now the marks, 11 for Duggan, 10 for Hearn, 9 for Hawkins and Bazzo. 10 tackles for Cully, 8 for Shuey, 5 for Atkins. Hit-outs, 29 for Segler, 16 for Blitzarves and Williams, 3 for Hawkins, 2 for Dixon. But yeah, the Cats, they're sending a really nice bit of form into the finals. A 13-game winning streak, really good win here. Kardinia Park is a fortress of theirs. They went inside 50, 62 to 27 times, which is a massive differential, which is really going to help them, which really has helped them in the end. To win this game, really, that they smashed West Coast in the inside 50s, getting a lot of good chances. Smashed them in the hit-outs again. The midfield's very different, and the Cats got a very good, experienced midfield. They smashed West Coast around the clearance numbers as well. What else? Smashed them in marks inside 50, 18-9, and led for most of the game. Definitely deserving winners, the Cats. 13-game winning streak into finals. You will not want to be playing them in finals. They will be the minor premiers. They've easily locked that away. Got some percentage as well. And yes, they're going to be a big threat come finals time if they keep playing like this. Alright, now to Richmond and Essendon, where Essendon 11-9-75 could not beat Richmond 21-15, 141. And just like Geelong, Richmond, they're going to be a real threat come finals time. Yes, they may only finish 7th. But whoever finishes in 6th, which at this stage, so far looking like it's going to be Brisbane, it's going to be tough. Even at the Gabba, I reckon Richmond could go out there and eliminate Brisbane, because they are so strong. They're such a good team, and they'll be tough to beat. They're so talented now. Essendon, on the good note for Essendon though, Michael Hurley returns for his final game, and he kicks a goal. Fantastic stuff for Michael Hurley. But the Bombers, they were in this game right up until half-time. But then in the third quarter, again, I did say in yesterday's 3-game match reviews, how to win a game is built off the back of a good third quarter. You can be up by 10 points at half-time, and then you can be up by 40 at three-quarter time, which is pretty much exactly what Richmond did. They're up by 19 at half-time, and then all of a sudden they're up by 40 or more at three-quarter time, 6-2 third quarter. And then in the end, they just ended up smashing them in the last as well. Lynch kicks 5 goals. He kicked 8 last week. So he's in some good form. Is Tom Lynch, 37 disposals for Zach Merritt, 129 fantasy for Dion Prestia, 6 tackles for Zach Merritt. Now to the AFL fantasy, 129 for Prestia, 127 for Lynch with his big bag. 125 for Merritt. Goals behinds, 5 for Lynch, 3 for Wright and Edwards, as well as Cumberland. Cumberland, he's an emerging young player, and D'Ambrosio chipped in with 2 goals as well. 37 disposals for Zach Merritt, 31 for Prestia, 28 for Shiw and Parrish. Now to the marks we go. 9 for Lynch, 8 for Wright and Ridley, 7... No, we're not going to go to the 7. 6 tackles for Merritt, 5 for Caldwell, McGrath, Prestia and Pickett. Hitouts now 23 for Draper and Nankervis, 7 for Wright, 6 for Miller, which means the Bombers just edging out Richmond in the hitout count. But yes, Richmond, they were all over Essendon with the inside 50s, and again, these stats would have been a drastically in front for Richmond in that third quarter, which is where they ended up getting away. And Essendon actually, believe it or not, won all aspects of the clearances. But Richmond, they're so dominant. They've got such a really even, balanced field. And this may be a surprising take, but Richmond are actual genuine flag threats this season. They are flag threats this season. They've been sending a really good run of form into the finals. They can attack this. 11 to 21 marks inside 50 in favour of Richmond. They led for the whole game. Deserving winners in the end. They win by 66. Good on Richmond. I think that they're going to have a pretty good run in the finals. They're going to be a tough team to play against. Essendon, their club is in turmoil. Their back end of the season's gone horribly wrong, and they would have loved to have done better than what they put on show. And Richmond, 141, that is a very good score. And I reckon in the finals, they'll probably be able to contend with the best of the best. Alright, now to the Saturday night showdown where Port Adelaide 16-15, 111, smashed Adelaide 7-13, 55. I don't really think a lot of people saw this result coming, and it was the perfect way for Port Adelaide to send off Robbie Gray. He ends up, of course, retiring, because, of course, both these clubs have had disappointing seasons, really. And it was, I mean, for me, because I'm a Crows fan, a very disappointing showdown. Adelaide didn't even try in that third quarter, and that's where Port Adelaide got away. They kicked 4-1 in that third quarter. Again, it was just a third quarter masterclass. And then in the last, they just destroy Adelaide even more. And I don't know, that almost just sums up Adelaide's season. They've won 3 games on the trot. This was going to be for number 4. In the end, though, they just couldn't quite get number 4. But again, Adelaide, they got a few players that could end up coming to them in the next couple of years. Rankin, Horne-Francis are on their agenda. But then there could be some players leaving them as well, along the lines of Crouch and Rowe. Port Adelaide, they've had they've had an impressive season after their 0-5. They've had a couple of bad losses, but look, this does finish their season off on a high note, and Robbie Gray will be remembered. Of course, did get a couple of farewell goals, 35 disposals for Wines, 4 goals for Marshall, 144 fantasy for Rosie, 10 tackles for Laird. Now to the AFL fantasy when it loads. 144 fantasy for Rosie, 128 for O'Brien, 125 for Wines, 121 for Butters, 116 for Laird, 113 for Amon, who looks to go to a Victorian club, 109 for Marshall, goals behinds, 4 for Marshall, and again, this kid, well, not this kid anymore, this man keeps on rising every week. Darcy Fogarty, 3 goals, I think that was definitely Adelaide's highlight. 2 for Gray, of course, gets sent off in a nice way. 2 for Dersman and McKenty as well. And then where is he? Amon, of course, he got the goal too. Disposals, 35 for Wines, 34 for Rosie. He's fired in the midfield this year for Port Adelaide is Connor Rosie. 31 for Amon as well. Now to the marks. 10 for Marshall, 9 for Farrell, 7 for Aaliyah. Aaliyah marked everything as well. 10 for Laird, 10 tackles for Laird, 9 for Berry. Of course, Adelaide's tackling machines. 8 for Butters and Rosie, 50 hitouts for O'Brien, smash Finlayson, who has 12, 9 for Dixon, 5 for Thilthorpe, 3 for Murray, 1 for Marshall, Power Pepper and Walker. So now to the team stats we go, where Port Adelaide 61 to 48 inside 50s ended up destroying Adelaide. Had a heap more of the footy, 41 to 287 disposals. That's not a lot of footy for Adelaide. And then again, smashed them in kicks and handballs. And then hitouts, and then centre clearances, actually, surprisingly. The Crows won by +1. It was pretty even around the centre. And then stoppage was all Port Adelaide, however. They had way more uncontested footy, did Port Adelaide. It felt like they were just having uncontested footy everywhere. No matter where they went, they had players free absolutely everywhere. It was just too easy for Port Adelaide in the end. 18 to 8 marks inside 50. That's just showing the amount of ease. They had 97 to 48 marks. they just had too much ease. Like, this game was almost done with too much ease for Port Adelaide. They just had it the way they wanted it. Port Adelaide led for most of the game. It was a tough battle for some of it. For the first half, it was really on. But, yeah, in that second half, it was just all Port Adelaide. And in the end, Port Adelaide, they get their bragging rights back. And they go 27-25 in the showdown counts. Alright, so a huge Sunday footy awaits. Hawthorn vs Western Bulldogs opens it up before Carlton and Collingwood go head-to-head, and then St Kilda and Sydney. Carlton, Collingwood and Sydney St Kilda will sum up the top 4. Western Bulldogs, Hawthorn and Carlton, Collingwood will sum up the top 8. So there's a lot left to be played out here. Yes, now we'll just have a look back at the results. Those are the results. Geelong by 85, Richmond by 66, Port Adelaide by 56. So these were all smashings, really. It wasn't the best 3-game match we've done. And then Melbourne won by 58, Dockers by 20, and the Suns by 67. So it's been quite a smashing kind of round. Like, we've had one close game, which was the Dockers and the Giants. So bring it home. The AFL season is coming home. Today it'll finish up. And, yeah, hopefully we'll be getting some close games for the next 3-game match reviews, which is how the ladder currently sits. Cats clear top. Melbourne, they are in second, and they will look to hold that as well. Unless if Sydney win, which they'd have to be looking to win by about 20 to 40 points to go up into second, I think. I think that's what they need to do now. Brisbane, if Collingwood win, Brisbane will end up playing Richmond in an elimination final with the Gabba, which isn't all just red roses for Brisbane. That could be a tough matchup. Collingwood, if they win, they've just got to get back into the top 4. They'll end up knocking out Fremantle, and depending on Sydney's result, that's going to be big to whether they will be playing in a home elimination final with Sydney or a perhaps even a home qualifying final or ensure the double chance. Now it's all down to Carlton now, whether they seal up 8th spot. But the Dogs, all they have to do is win and hope that Carlton lose. And even a draw for Carlton will do the job. So all Carlton have to do is find a way to win or draw. Now, that was a shorter 3-game match reviews. I'm going to try and make them shorter from now on. I've been seeing that the long ones just haven't gotten a lot of views lately. So I'm hoping that these shorter ones are going to try and get some views back. I'm going to try and do them shorter now. I think that's how I'm going to work it out for the rest of the year. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you guys in another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.